Okay. So yesterday we have discussed about implementation project, and we have moved to support or maintenance project. And as I mentioned that support and maintenance project, the client initial phase after implementation, 2 to 3 months, the implementation partner, that is nothing but the development partner, will give free of cost support 2 to 3 months. And after that, the client, the whatever end user client we are calling about end user Ready Labs, they need to take a separate agreement. They need to enter into a separate agreement with any software company for support of SAP. Any software that could be the company which have developed the SAP or introduced the SAP in the end user organization. That is nothing but we took example as Infosys. Okay, they can take support project. They can give support project to Infosys or any other third party company. Clear? They will enter into a different quotations, and they will check with different quotations, and like whoever give the best price, and whoever give the good support, best support. So the end user company can enter into this particular, they can give this particular project to that particular organization. And same time, sometimes what happens is the end user company, instead of depending on third party, they will they will create their own IT division. Means they will recruit for FI consultant, they will recruit the consultant, like that. They will create their own IT division in their organization. So instead of depending upon third party software companies. Clear? So this will be there. Then they need not to pay annually or something. Okay, they can pay salaries to their consultant and they can continue the project. So in case if Ready Labs has given this particular project to Infosys or Accenture or Yesh or Wipro, right? Then that particular project is considered as a support project. In this project, the team size would be 5 to 20 members. The team size would be 5 to 20 members. Okay. And the project duration would be, again, I'm giving, this is a assumption numbers. It could be more or less. Okay. And duration would be 1 to 5 years. 1 to 5 years. Okay. The people or the person who involved in support project from IT companies are known as support consultants, are known as support consultants. And normally support projects are of three types. Support projects are of three types. One is ticket based support, production support, and go live support. Ticket based support, production support, and go live. So there are three types of projects, right? Once if you have hired for a company, right, as I mentioned earlier also, so probably we won't directly involved in implementation project, so we may involved in support project or a testing project. So in in support projects also, if we are hired, then we need to work either on ticket based support or production support. Normally ticket based support only we will involve. Ticket based support only we will involve. Another one, production support and go live support. 90% companies will give the support as per ticket based. 90%. Okay. Very few companies will go for the production support. So what exactly the ticket based support? In the sense, when company is using SAP, then they may face some problems as we discussed yesterday. So for example, end user organization, after implementation, right, they are new to the SAP. So even though the development partner has given support for 3 months, okay, but after 3 months, after withdrawing support from implementation partner, development partner, right, that is Infosys, after withdrawal, then they will start working. The real time working will do by the end user. So at that particular point of time, end user may get few issues. End user may get few issues. So to overcome that issues, okay, the third party, as I mentioned, they will give project to any software company. Okay, so here face some problems. Then the end user organization and SAP support organization, end user organization and support organization will maintain some ticketing tools. Some ticketing tools. See, End user organization, nothing but Ready Labs. For example, this particular project will be given to Wipro. This particular project is given to Wipro. Okay. Then the commonly both the organization, end user organization and Wipro support consulting company need to have some common ticketing tool between them. That is nothing but, for example, it could be a ServiceNow ticketing tool, Remedy tool, or any other tool. Any other tool they can use, but that should be common. Okay. Whenever end user faces the problem, then they will raise the ticket in that tool by explaining the issue. Instead of emailing, same, they will draft everything. Okay. Complete end-to-end explanation they need to mention in the ticket. The tickets are broadly classified into 3 types. Okay. The tickets are broadly classified into 3 types. One is urgent priority, high priority, and medium priority. Urgent priority tickets, as per SLA, they need to be addressed within 4 hours of time. They need to be addressed 4 hours of time. Okay. High priority tickets, they need to address within 24 hours. And medium priority, so it's greater than 24 to less than 48. So again, the SLA would be, it's not same for each and every company, but these are standard. This could be less or this could be more in any organization. Clear? Any questions still here? See how the tickets will be classified as an urgent priority or high priority. For example, SAP, they are facing issue. Entire floor is having an issue with SAP. Okay, then that would be classified as an urgent priority. And what would be high priority tickets? For example, out of entire floor, one particular department, generally I'm giving you an example, one particular team or particular department is facing an issue. Other teams are able to work, but one particular team is facing issue. Then that particular ticket broadly classified as a high priority. And in case only one user is facing an issue, and all users are able to work it, but one user due to some issues, they are not able to work, then that particular ticket will be considered as a medium priority or a low priority ticket. So any questions? So ticket based product support. Before we proceed to production support.
No, Navin. Good. We are good.
So next one, the production support. Production support is another support. Normally, again, I'm reiterating, 90% or 95% the companies will give the support ticket based only. But very rarely, few companies like entity data, now entity data is not there. Okay, but still earlier they used to support on production support. Apart from ticket based support, they used to have a production support. So what do you mean by production support? IT division will work under this 24/7 support through internal communicator. So this will be there. This is same 9 hours job. Ticket based would be 9 hours job according to their time zone. But here production support, customer support, whatever we call, that would be 24/7 support. Clear? Through internal communicator, we can raise a concern through internal communicator or through toll-free number. So there is a specified toll-free number will be there to contact production support team. Okay. Whenever issue is received through a call or a chat box, it needs to be addressed on priority. It need to be addressed immediately. What does it mean? So whenever whenever we have an issue, right, we will call them, then they need to address, and they will raise a ticket again. They internally raise a ticket. Instead of we raising a ticket, whatever issue we faced, then instead of raising ticket from our end, what we do is we will directly call them, and they need to address immediate. Address is different thing, solving is different. Clear? So they will address that particular issue, that we have received this issue, and they will tentatively mention when it's going to be resolved, the timeline. So then that is considered as a production support. Production support is nothing but, for example, if you face any network issue, you have a Act Fiber Net or Airtel broadband or any other broadband. If we are not able to get connected to that particular broadband, what we will do, we will call them, right? So they will address immediately, and they will give the tentative time that within 1 hour or within 2 hours, this particular whatever issue we are facing, that will be get resolved. So that kind of support, we call it as a production support. Okay, next one, go live support. As I said, go live support in the sense, after implementation of SAP, as an Infosys consultant, as an Infosys team, we have implemented and SAP software in Ready Labs. Clear? After implementation, post implementation, okay, whatever support means, there is a timeline agreement in the time. You remember project agreement document. In that particular agreement document, it will be mentioned after implementation how many months they are going to support. So that will be clearly mentioned in the project agreement document. According to that SLA, the Infosys team, the development team, right? Development partner has to give support to end user team. For example, after implementation, whatever support we give, we in the sense consulting team, okay, we give that support, we will call as a go live support. The time duration of go live support will be minimum 2 months and maximum 6 months. See, whenever you purchase a new phone or something new product, you will have a warranty, 6 months to 1 year warranty. In the same way, after implementation of software, we need to give the support. And that support, we will call it as a go live support. That will be given free of cost. In the implementation project cost only, we will give that support. And normally that support duration would be minimum of 2 months and maximum of 6 months, not more than that. Minimum of 2 months and maximum of 6 months. And that particular support, we call it as a go live support. Clear? There are three support projects we may involve after implementation, right? We may involve in ticket-based support or production support or a go live support. Any of three after hiring, we need to work. So normally we will get a ticket-based support only.
And so production, Navin's production support basically is after implementation or during implementation?
After implementation, once the complete data is moved to production system, once the end user start working on the system. Clear? Once the data completely
that is a paid support, right? That is a paid support.
No. First 2 to 6 months, it's a free of cost. First 2 to 6, it's a free of cost.
So what's the difference between go live and production support then?
See, production support, go live support in the sense, it could be your ticketing tool, it could be your production support. But production support, what do you mean by production support? Production support is nothing but directly the end user, instead of raising a ticket, directly they can call it. Toll-free number. Understood? So here, this is a paid support, right? Ticketing till also paid support, and go live is a first 2 to 6 months, it would be free of cost. In this go live support also, they can use the tool called ticketing tool or a production support tool, toll-free numbers, anything they can use it, right? First 2 to 6 months, it would be free of cost, and after 6 months, they will charge. And as per the agreement, what we call project agreement. Is this clear?
Yeah, clear now.
Yeah. So this is about your support project. Next one, we have few more projects. See, as soon as you stepped into organization, as I said, that you will need to work on an implementation project or a support project. And same time we discussed in same implementation project, we may work on testing project also. But apart from that, we may need to work on rollout project. This is another important project. Okay. If a company is already implemented, means they are already implemented SAP long back in their organization. If a company has already implemented SAP in their organization for one country, for example, my company is having based of Europe, my head office is in Europe, and I am having a different branches, company codes in across the globe. India, I'm having Singapore, I'm having US, I'm having Australia, I'm having Canada, I'm having, but the head office is in Europe, for example, Germany. right? Already in Germany company, they're already using SAP as their ERP software. But other countries, whatever other countries we are having branches, they have not introduced SAP in that particular company codes. They are using a legacy system. They are using legacy software. Clear? Then they would again, if a company has already implemented SAP in one country, that is in head office, they would like to be replicate the same for other country or countries, nothing but branches. Then these types of projects are called as a rollout projects. What does it mean again? See, as I said, Germany, we are already, our company's head office is in Germany, and already they have implemented SAP in our organization, head office. Okay, but other company codes, we have a different branches in different countries. As I said, India, Singapore, right? Canada, US. So in these 4 countries, we have a branches, but over there they are using third-party softwares like other ERPs or other legacy systems. So now I want to implement, now our organization wants to implement the same SAP in all the branches, 4 branches. Clear? So what they will do is almost all whatever data, okay, 70% data will be similar. 70% data will be similar to implement SAP in these 4 countries. Only what are the changes it will have? 30% changes will have. What are that? Country rules and regulations, country legal formalities, country tax formalities. Clear? Those things will be different, and other 70% will be the same. Other 70% will be the same. What we will do, we will lift and we will shift to those countries, and remaining 30% we will implement according to the country requirement, country's legal requirements, tax requirements. Clear? So that kind of project, we call it as a rollout project. What do you mean by rollout project? In simple words, if already company is using one particular head office is using SAP and other branches are using different third-party softwares or legacy softwares or other ERPs, and company decided to use in across the globe, whatever branches they are having, they want to use SAP. Okay, but 70% data would be the same. Whatever head office is using the data, the same data wants to replicate in other branches. So here what our job is, we need to lift, we need to understand what head office is using. We need to lift the data and we need to shift to branches. Only 70% will be the similar from head office to branches. But what is the 30% data is different? That is according to country legal requirement, according to country legal procedure, according to country's financial year. Okay, correct? So as I said that in India, we follow April to March. In US, they follow, most of the states in US, they follow Jan to December, right? Not all US states. And Australia, again, they will follow different one. For example, they follow July to June. And few European countries, they follow October to September, right? So those 30% changes we need to implement. And that kind of project, we call it as a rollout project. Is it a new SAP to the organization? No, they are already using it in head office or in one company code. And that particular thing has to be replicated to other company codes. Then that particular project, we call it as a rollout project. In other words, rollout means replicating the business model of SAP system in subsidiaries that have similar business process. What do you mean by business process here? In Hyderabad, in India, in Germany, I'm having accounts payable team. And in India also, there is an accounts payable team. And in US also, there is an accounts payable team. And in Singapore also an accounts payable team, right? Whatever German accounts payable business process end to end, they are following. Okay, here in India also, we are following same procedure, end-to-end procedure. Clear? So whatever they following, the same thing we are following here, but we are following in a different ERP, Oracle ERP. But in Germany, they are using SAP. Right now, I want to use SAP in India, Singapore, and other countries. The business process are different. Business process is same, but ERPs are different. Clear? So the same replication, AP process replication of Germany will move to lift and shift to other branches, other company codes. Clear? So the main task of localization is fully implement the local requirements of the subsidiary company. Only the change where it will change, only the local requirement of subsidiary company, that is according to their country, while preserving the integrity of the corporate model. Integrity of corporate model. For example, if Ready Lab company head office is in India, already SAP is implemented and it is having branches in US and as well as in Europe. They want to implement same SAP according to head office. Then these projects are known as rollout projects. The team size would be 5 to 20 members and the duration of the project would be 3 to 9 months. Clear? This is about your rollout project. Any questions? As soon as we hired, we may place sometime a rollout project directly instead of support project or any other project. But that would be easy projects, rollout projects. Only 30% implementation we need to do and remaining thing we need to copy. Any questions here? Yes, no.
No,
No,
sir.
Naveen, no. No.
Next one, the most important project that is called now most after 2025. After 2025, whatever, as I said, that already 28% out of 100% companies where they are using SAP, 28% companies are already migrated to S4 HANA. Still 72% companies are there still using ECC only. So till 2028, they will use most of the companies ECC only. But after that, after 28 to 30, they need to move, they need to migrate from ECC to S4 HANA. So at that particular duration, we will get most of the project or upgradation projects. Most of the project are nothing but upgradation projects. So mostly if you hired this year, so probably you may work in what we call support project and that whatever company you're going to work. But definitely from 2028 to 3031, most of the projects we are going to work on upgradation project rather than implementation and rollout. We are going to work on upgradation project because 72% companies who are existing companies already using SAP, they are going to migrate, and probably new companies will come after 2030. Clear? Out of companies who are still not using SAP, they will come after 2030. After 2030, they will use SAP. Definitely, that is no doubt. Right? At that particular, after 2031, again, we'll start up implementation projects for new companies. Clear? So what do you mean by upgradation project? If the company already using SAP older version, ECC is older version now, okay, and they would like to upgrade to latest version of SAP, then these projects are known as upgradation projects. Upgrading from older version to new version. Then that particular project, and everybody knows about it, but still, these projects are known as an upgradation project. And the team size would be approximately 5 to 20 members. And duration would be around 3 to 9 months. Around 3 to 9 months. Clear? So most from, as I said, 2028 till 2028, if you hired also, you will work on ECC majority or S4 HANA. That's not a big deal. But after from 2028, if you don't have any project in your hands, then definitely you will have a project on upgradation. Each and every company will get at least few projects on upgradation from 27 to 2030 till 30, 28 to 30. Every company, every software company are going to get these upgradation projects.
Naveen, I have a question here.
Please.
For this upgradation project, they will again have a kind of an agreement or a blueprint, everything as per the the sign off or kind of a thing.
Yes. So it's almost all, it look like upgradation in the sense, most of the data they will migrate from ECC to S4 HANA, but everything blueprint, because there is a changes. What is the difference between ECC? There is a 20% changes are there in few submodules and other modules too. So definitely we need to explain the client how it was in ECC and how it's going to be in S4. So we need to again prepare as is document, to be document, how it was in ECC, what are the changes in S4 HANA in to be documentation. Is that clear?
Yeah.
So the duration would be around, again, I'm saying it's again depends. Again, I'm just taking a rough, this numbers, that is 3 to 9 months. It could be lesser than that and it could be more than that. Okay. So the another important project is enhancement project. Enhancement project, right? What do you mean enhancement project? In the sense, for example, my company is already using from past 5 years SAP. Okay, I'm into different departments. I'm having different departments like FI department, finance department, controlling department, department, quality management department, production and planning, SD and HR. So from past 5 years, I'm using the same activities, same SAP. But this year, we have entered into new business or new department. We have introduced new department or we are entered into new business. Clear? Then if the organization enters into contracts, there is a business called contracts business, right? So here this module, FI module, is supports finance activities, CO module, CO activities. So we are entered into a new business called contract business, joint venture business. Clear? For this particular contract business, there is a module, SAP module called PS module. PS module, as I said, that we are going to see 20% of PS module also in our course. Project system module, that is nothing but your project system, joint venture accounting, contract accounting, FICA. We call it as a finance and contract accounting. Earlier, there was a huge hype for FICA module. It's a very small module, FICA module, finance and contract accounting. That is exclusively for contract accounting, joint venture accounting. Now we have merged into PS, project system. Clear? So we are going to work on this joint venture accounting also. So the project system module. So to develop this contract accounting, we need to introduce which module? We need to introduce project system module. Okay. And we need to implement. Earlier, we don't have this module in our organization, right? Then Infosys will introduce this project system module in end user. That is nothing but Ready Labs. So we need to implement PS module. When we are implementing project system module in Ready Labs, then without disturbing the existing business process, we are not supposed to disturb the business process of FICO we need to implement the project system. And after implementation, we need to integrate project system to FI, project system to CO, project system to QM, PP, SD, and HR, and any other existing modules. We need to integrate. Okay, must be integrate with other existing modules in the organization. And these projects are called enhancement projects. These projects are called enhancement projects. Understood? What do you mean enhancement project?
So Naveen, for example, if I'm into asset accounting, and for asset accounting, like company has decided to do an automation process. So
Yes.
that can be considered as enhancement project.
Automation project, it's not an enhancement project. Already you have a asset accounting module in your organization, right?
Yes.
If it is newly introduced, then it would be called as an enhancement. But that automation project is considered as a automation testing project. There is a separate project.
Okay.
So what do you mean by testing project? In the sense, for example, already your organization, end user organization, is using asset accounting, correct? And instead of your manual intervention, they want to avoid major steps of manual intervention, then they want to automate it. Okay, automate in the sense they need to use some testing automation tool. Nowadays, the popular tool is, there is a tool called Tosca tool. So the most of the automation activities are performed in this particular tool, right? So here two teams will be involved. One is automation team, and for example, asset accounting. Asset accounting in the sense, asset accounting will come under finance submodule only. So finance consultant, V. Clear? So what we will see, asset accounting, it is Ready Labs. For example, Ready Labs is our end user. They want to automate this particular asset accounting module. Okay, Ready Labs. Okay, so what we will do as a finance consultant, we need to gather the information. What are the steps are there? We know that. In out of all the steps, what are the steps they need to automate? They want to do automate of 3 steps, 5 steps, or all the steps. Okay, we will gather that information and we will prepare a documentation, and we will, whatever existing steps are there, we will prepare, that is called scenario. Okay, we are going to prepare a documentation, scenario documentation. Clear? And that scenario documentation will be, after preparation of this scenario documentation, we will give it to automation team. Clear? And automation team will write the program. They are going to write a program in this particular tooling. Predefined coding will be there, and they will, according to the steps, whatever steps we have given, those steps they will mention in this automation tool. Clear? And that particular, so here our role would be a tester role. We will do testing. Whatever scenarios the end user wants to automate it, then that scripts we will develop, we will test, and after testing with the screenshot, we will prepare one documentation. Okay, and that documentation we will give it to Tosca team. Okay, that is a functional activity. They don't aware of this functional activity. So whatever screens we develop, whatever steps we have given, and all those steps will be automated by Tosca team. And this is considered as a testing project, not as a enhancement project. Is this clear?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, Naveen. Yeah.
So probably most of the teams now, again, I'm saying that end user teams, most of the work they want to automate it. So as a consultant, we will see ourselves as a finance consultant, but probably we will do most of the activities on testing. What kind of testing? No, the testing in the sense already it is implemented, but we need to test the scenarios. We need whatever client will give. These are the things, these are the steps I want to automate. So those automation things we will test manually. Means in FB60 how it is getting posted, in automatic payment process how it is doing, in manual outgoing payment what are the steps involved, all those stuff we will write in step by step. Clear? And that we will give it to Tosca team. That is, I'm taking example as Tosca, but any other tool, automation tool, because 90% companies now using the Tosca, and this is a product of Tricentis. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Any other questions from anyone? Okay.
Most of we will get the supporting project as per
Mostly.
project,
That's what I'm saying. See,
so
as soon as, sorry.
Please in depth give some more points, these roles and responsibilities in this support project.
See, that's what I'm saying. See, just I would that at this particular point of time, I would like to give you a glance. What do you mean by support project? But once we enter into after configuration part, what kind of support you will get? Clear? After config, once we enter into the submodules called GL, AP, AR, at that particular point of time, you will understand. See, people not all are not having experience on SAP or end user experience. So just I want to give a glimpse. What do you mean by support project? But once we enter into submodules, clear, GL module or AP and AR module, banking module, tax module, then at that particular point of time, I'll clearly explain what do you mean by a support project, why, what is the role of a support, because we are going to see the implementation part currently, right? And same time, I'll explain support in the sense what kind of challenges day to day the end user will face and what kind of queries the support team will get and how to resolve those queries. Clear? That I'll give at that particular point of time. But if I give, because as I mentioned earlier also, people are new to the system, because in our batch, we have already consultants, we have already end user most experienced team, right? We have a freshers also. If I say complete, this is called support and you need to work like this, in the sense that would be Greek and Latin and rocket science for them. Once we enter into after configuration, once we entered into the submodules, definitely we are going through what is testing, what are the testings we will do, unit testing, clear, and what are the integration testings we are going to do, and what is the implementation we are going to do, right? And what are the support challenges we are going to get. All those stuff I'll mention. Is that clear? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Got it.
So till here, this is about your basic literature, whatever we covered from starting to till here. So the literature part is completed. So most of the time, just focus what do you mean by implementation. Means in your resume, we are going to mention that this is the project you have involved. So implementation project, 1 year end to end. So what are the activities we have done in one end-to-end experience? Support project. Again, we are going to see support project. So what kind of tool we have used? What are the challenge we used to get? Clear? That we are going to explain. Each and again, I'm reiterating, each and every project we are going to work in our course time. So that to in depth. Fine. Because upgradation project, how we can work? Because we are covering here ECC and as well as S4 HANA. Right? The upgradation project is nothing but ECC from to S4 HANA. So that particular project we can consider as an upgradation project. Clear? Any questions?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sir, just a question.
Please go ahead.
Apart from like all the literature we did, we were talking about all these the projects we have it, or we can get into any kind of projects.
Correct.
So normally the type of when we go for the interviews,
Mhm.
do they normally ask that explain what is the meaning of this project, explain what is the meaning of this project?
Oh, see, again, I'm reiterating. The thing is, whatever you mentioned in your resume, you're going to mention in your resume. For example, you're keeping your recipe experience and you mentioned that I'm having 1 year of implementation experience end to end. Implementations I have done, or I have worked on 3-year support project and 1 year of rollout project. So from that only they are going to ask. They won't ask meaning and all those stuff.
Makes sense. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Any other questions?
So Naveen, we are using, for example, FICO AP module, so
Okay.
or GL module. We have introduced any workflow system, like how the emails are coming, invoices are coming in a workflow.
Yeah,
So that will come under implementation enhancement project, correct?
correct.
Enhancements.
Yeah, that will come under enhancement project. So that also we are going to cover hardly 10% we are going to cover, because that interfaces we can't see directly in this. So, but still I'll try to cover.
Okay, so that enhancement is added in the project, and we are doing that kind of a testing until it get successfully working. So that is also a part of implementation.
Yes, because see, that's a new, earlier it was not there, right?
Yeah.
See, you're implementing that, but it's not completely called as an implementation project. In implementation, it is one enhancement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if I saying that I have been working on one implementation project, that to AP project, and I have introduced this thing, the workflow system. And can I say that
Yes. That is a part of implementation only.
completely I was involved in that activity, and that implementation only have done.
Yes. If you have done that, then we can mention that accordingly in our resumes and our experience.
If any on ticketing tool, if the issues are not getting resolved, so there will be a any means kind of I'm just thinking like a if it is not resolved within the timeline, so it will be a chances to go for an external kind of a thing, like
See, that will be escalated to next level. The same thing what we do. For example, first initially it will come to an associate level. If one particular thing within 4 hours or 8 hours timeline, if it is not resolved, then that ticketing tool automatically, after the that, it will move to next level. So till your project manager, it will be moved. And definitely within that particular time only, by hook or crook, we will resolve it. And what is the beauty in SAP environment is, again, I'm telling you, if you're working as a consultant, see one particular issue you are facing, right? As I said, that 4 hours of time or 8 hours of time, but definitely as a, whether you are in implementation project or a support project or any other project, it's not like that you need to resolve here at this particular time only. No, you will get a extra grace time, and you will have that a breathing time. And we have we are going to get, we will have lot of groups in SAP. In Google, if you search, if you post your issue in regarding your SAP issue, within fraction of minutes, you are going to get a lot of suggestions, lot of advices.
yes.
So we have a lot, breathing time would be more in SAP when compared to end user activities. So here, any problem, probably at that particular moment, it would be, we will feel some sort of stress, but definitely we will get a lot of help from other consultants or senior consultants or someone. And here everything will be worked as a team, not as an individual, even though it's an individual activities, but still we will get a lot of help from others, other consultants or fellow colleagues. So that support we are going to get not only from our organization. If we have a Google this thing, then we will get that particular thing from different organizations also. Hope you got my point.
Yes, I got it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Any other questions?
No, Naveen.
Okay, good to go, right? So here,
Yes, please.
yeah. So here, as I said that SAP, again, I am reiterating SAP. See, tomorrow onwards, we will start our practical part. So here SAP, already I have discussed in my previous sessions. For example, if you want to, there are two things to practice our SAP. One is we can install SAP in our systems. That system in the sense that could be your desktop or your laptop. Okay, we can install SAP in our system. Okay, so what are the prerequisites of your last laptop or desktop? In the sense, prerequisites are you should have, we need to have minimum 4 GB is enough, but it would be dead slow if you are installing 8 GB RAM, 8 GB RAM and 500 GB hard disk. Prerequisites 8 GB RAM. If we want to be faster, then 500 GB hard disk to install, right? So here, as I said, as I mentioned it as an in Hyderabad, they'll charge 400 rupees or 500 rupees to install SAP in your system. In the system, And it's a lifetime. Again, it's a lifetime. You need not to pay renewal fee or something else. And what is the version we are going to work? What is the version we are going to work? So it could be you are doing installation, or you are taking third-party server. Then just ask them to provide the installation ECC6 with EHP7. We call it as a tax version. So, but you just call them as a GST version. So this is the mod. This is the version we are. This is the in ECC. This is the latest version. So if you are installing or you are taking server access from someone, just ask them to provide this access, this installation, ECC6 with EHP7 GST version. This is the in ECC, this is the latest version. Okay, and after that we have a EHP8 version, which we can't install. Clear? To install EHP version is ECC6 with EHP8. To install this particular version, we need to have minimum 500 GB of RAM, not hard disk. 500 GB of RAM. As I said, in India, still now we don't have this RAM systems. And for that, almost all we need to spend around 8 to 10 lakhs and 1 TB hard disk, not SSD. Clear? So instead of that, if you want to install, then you can install, but your server, your laptop or desktop hardware requirement would be 8 GB RAM and 500 GB hard disk drive, whatever may be the generation, core 5 or core 5th generation or 10th generation, whatever may be the generation, but you should require this particular requirement. Okay, but if you install, it is only a 400 rupees. But what would be the challenge in the sense, again, out of 500 GB, they will make 2 partitions. Again, I'm reiterating for everybody's benefit. 2 partitions, your hardware basis consultant will do. 2 partitions they will do. Okay, for example, you have purchased new laptop or a new desktop, and we will get our original licensed OS, operating system. Licensed operating system. Okay, I have purchased a new laptop and I want to install SAP server in my system. Clear? They will give licensed, when we purchase, we will get licenses of MS Office, we will get license of operating system. Clear? So if you are giving, then you need to take a backup of this operating system and MS Office with the keys, license keys. Clear? Why? In the sense, once if you give it to installation, so SAP installation, they will remove your original OS and original MS Office and everything. They will make it as a plain blank drive. Clear? And they will do 2 partitions. One is 350, space would be 350 and 150. Your 500 GB, 512 GB, that is 350 and 150 GB. Okay, in 350 GB, they will install. In 350 GB, they are going to install OS called Windows NT, or Windows 2000 Professional. Windows 2000 Professional. Windows NT or Windows 2000 Professional. So here, and after installation of OS, they will install SAP server. It occupies major space. The server occupies major space. Means the server, SAP server, will be in your system only. So every day, whenever you want to practice, you need to start your server. Okay, and after that you need to start your application. Once you have started your server, then this is considered as an application. Clear? Here it occupies almost all 250 to 300 GB space for server only. Okay, and when it comes to application will have very minute space. It will occupy very minute space. You can see here how much space it occupies. .17 KB. Okay, or 4 KB maximum, 4096 bytes. You know what do you mean by KB and MB? GB, terabyte.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Kilobyte, kilobyte,
What do you mean
megabyte.
by that? How many thing will be considered as an 1 KB? I'll just give one.
1024 KB is like 1 MB.
No, so I'll tell you. See, one character space. I'm just giving only basics here. One character space is equals to, okay, one character space equals to 1 bit. 1 bit. Clear? What do you mean by bit? Bit and bytes we use normally, right? Kilobyte, right? Gigabyte, terabyte. What do you mean by byte here? Byte, before that we need to understand bit. One character space, if I press one space or one character, then it occupies 1 bit space. Okay, so like that 8 bits equals to 1 byte. 1 byte. 8 bits equals to 1 byte space. Like that 1024 bytes equal to 1 kilobyte. Okay, 124 kilobyte, 1024 kilobytes. KB is equals to 1 megabyte. 1 megabyte. 1024 megabytes equals to 1 gigabyte. 1024 gigabytes equal to 1 terabyte. Clear? This is the highest now. Earlier it was GB, now it is a terabyte. Clear? So here this occupies almost all. If you install 200 GB space, it will occupy 250 to 300 space it will occupy. But when it comes to application, application will occupies only 4 KB space. 4 KB in the sense, you can see, you know now what is kilobyte. 1024 into 4 times. Okay, that much space it will occupies. And here, so what is the step? Once if you install server in your system, then every day we need to start the server. And once we work, we need to close the server properly. If we are directly shutting down 1 or 2 times, then the server will get cracked. The server will get crashed in your system. And again, to use it, again, you need to reinstall. So for that, again, we need to pay. And what is the other disadvantage in the sense? To start the server, to stop the server, it will take 3 to 5 minutes of time to start the server. And to stop the server, also it will take 2 to 3 or 3 to 5 minutes of time, roughly I'm saying. So we need to spend almost 6 to 10 minutes of time to start and to stop the servers. Clear? And whenever, whatever environment, whatever partition the SAP has installed, in that particular partition, the network cards won't work. The sound cards won't work. Okay, only you can practice SAP in that particular partition. MS Office, everything work, but internet will not work. You can't send any email or something. And if I want to show, if you got any error and you want to present to someone that error, right? Because of the net, it won't work, the network cards. So we can't show the opposite person that we are facing this particular issue. That is a challenge. That is a
So a partition is mandatory at the time of installation, right?
correct, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Why? Because why partition in the sense another 150 GB, what they will do is they will install in 150 GB, they will install operating system Windows 10 Pro or 11. Clear? So in this particular partition, all the softwares will be installed, MS Office and all the network drivers, sound cards, everything will work in this Windows. So if you want to do your day-to-day activities, then you whenever you switch it on system, it will show two options, right? One is Windows NT or Windows 2000 Professional, and next one Windows 10 Pro or Windows 11, whatever OS they have installed. So you need to select whether you want to practice SAP, then you need to select this OS. If you want to do your day-to-day activities, then you need to select this particular option. And if you want to do internet, you want to use and everything, then you can see this partition. You can work on this partition. Okay, so here no network card, no sound cards, nothing will work here in this particular partition. Right? If we face any issues, we can't we can take a screenshot, not even a screenshot. Through mobile itself, we can take a screenshot, we can send them. Clear? So there is advantages and there is a disadvantages because it's a one-time investment. If you are using, you are running properly, if you are starting server properly, if you are stopping server properly, then it won't get crashed frequently. Clear? So another way we have, that is remote server access. Remote server access. Remote server access in the sense, what it will, instead of installation, the server will be maintained remotely by some third party. And we need to pay them quarterly, monthly, yearly. Again, the tariffs would be different from your basis consultant. So majority, whatever access I have taken remotely, I'll pay quarterly for S4 HANA and as well as ECC. Clear? So the remote server access in the sense, they won't install any server and our operating system will not get disturbed. Clear? Our operating system will not get disturbed and only they will install application in our system. Only application in our system. That is nothing but this is called application. SAP application, launchpad. Okay, only this they will install, only it occupies 4 KB space. And server will be there in remote. They will take care, they will maintain entire server. And they will give, once we take the remote access, they will give user ID and password. Clear? According to that user ID and password, we will log in and we will start practice. Clear? And for that, again, I'm not sure how much they are charging, but per quarter they are charging 1600 rupees, I believe, 1200 to 1600. Normally 1600 for ECC version. ECC version. So what I request you, okay, so take ECC version access. If you are taking a remote access, a remote server access or installation, only take ECC part. Why? Because S4 HANA installation, not installation, S4 HANA server, they are going to charge 1500 rupees to 2000. 1500 to 2000 per month. 1500 to 2000 per month. So 9 months. So total 18,000 you need to pay, means not required as of now, but still later on also when we start, you need to pay 2000 rupees if I go with the higher end. Clear? So what I advise is don't spend amount on this S4 HANA part, S4 HANA server. Don't spend on this. Okay. Why? In the sense, this particular HANA server, I'll give my credentials. I have a 4 to 5 credentials I am having the server access. So I'll give you at the time of practice those credentials to you people. You can practice on that access. I'll give some limitations. and some precautions, how to use it and what are the things you are not supposed to change, and everything I'll give the precautions, and according to that you can start using it. So instead of spending 2000 INR, clear, but you need to install, because I can't give my credentials, because one user ID credentials I can use only for once. That's for my purpose. So you need to take this ECC server. If you are not installing, then go for remote access. I always advise people not to install, because your own original system will get corrupt and all those stuff. Your OS will be get corrupted. You need to take a backup, and if you lose some license key, then again you can't get it back. So that's the reason I'll ask the people to take remote access, remote server access. That would be easy. 24/7 you will get a support and everything. So any questions till here? So, but whether you are installing, whether you are taking a remote server access, but ask them to give this particular access or to install this particular version. Any questions? And if you want to take a remote server access, we have, I have a few consultants, few basis consultants whom I took. Okay, I give prior. See, again, it's your will and you wish whether you want to take it or not from this particular guys. You can, if you know anyone, then you can take from them. Okay, and according to that, one person called Venkat, I'll give his number. I'll just write it down here. His name is Venkat. So he is from Hyderabad, India. So you need to add the people who are not from India, they need to add +91. Okay, its number is 950 24 55 611. And one more person is also there. He is one basis consultant, Supriya. Which 95 81 4961. These are the two people whom I know actually. So if you people are interested, you can take from these people, or if you know anyone outside who can give better service, who can give better pricing, then you can take from them. Clear? So when you need to take after 3 days, just start taking from them, or next week onwards. Clear? Because introduction will take place another 2 to 3 days of SAP software, general settings and all those stuff. Fields, what are the different fields will be there in SAP. Majority people knows about it, but still I would like to go with the scratch. So I'll say each and every screen introduction I'll give from tomorrow in tomorrow's session. So next week you can start taking the server access. Any questions?
Sir, I have a couple questions here.
Please go ahead.
Now, with the SAP S4 HANA and the ECC, I have already SAP 2020, and I do not have ECC. Now, when we gonna start practicing making company account, charter of accounts, post period variants, and financial year variant, whatever, are we gonna do it on ECC, or we gonna do it on
ECC only? Initially ECC only, on ECC only.
So now I do not have ECC, but I have S4 HANA. Do you recommend I have to have the ECC?
Yes, you need to have the ECC.
Okay, now again related to the same thing, because we will be practicing on ECC, but are we gonna practice the same thing simultaneously on S4 HANA as well?
No, after AP we are going to pitch into S4 HANA.
Okay, that makes sense.
Because see, first of all, I would like to show you what are the base actually. ECC, what are the
Yeah.
changes in S4 HANA? So I
Okay.
would like to complete 2 modules exclusively in ECC, and after that I will pitch into S4 HANA. So at that particular point of time, we will start working simultaneously on S4 HANA also.
Okay.
Yeah. In GL module, we don't have much change in ECC and as well as on S4 HANA, but the route we need to understand. That's the reason I'll stress more on ECC part in initial classes.
Okay. But at the same time, when we're gonna finish our FI portion, which is 5 to 6 months, we will be, I mean, as equipped in SAP S4 HANA as well, along with
Exactly.
ECC, correct?
ECC, both, yes. Once we complete this FI part, you will be well equipped on ECC and as well as on S4 HANA.
Okay. Now, sir, now most of the people, as I said, like they're all talking about only activate methodology. Now, when you'll be teaching it, does all these modules we're talking about asset accounting or GL and everything, do they have any common ground between activate methodology and SAP
Yes,
methodology?
yes. That's what I'm
Okay.
saying. See, once we complete the basic modules called the GL and AP,
Okay.
then I'll explain the little literature on S4 HANA and
Okay.
what do you mean by an activate methodology,
Okay.
how it is a different, see, once if we people understood ECC, the basic foreground in 2 to 3 different modules, then they will understand, okay, this is about SAP ECC. Now, then next, if I give any introduction on S4 HANA, then people will start comparison between these two.
Okay.
Because they will practice and they will get well equipped with ECC. Then if I start any new version or new thing, then they will realize, okay, this is the difference. This is the things what we have done, and this is what we are going to do in S4.
So yes, sir. Okay.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions? Any other questions from anyone? Yes, no.
I think good, sir.
Okay. Then thank you. Tomorrow we'll start with SAP this thing. And today I'll share this Word documentation also. Okay. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.